What if the most powerful way to command attention isn't through words, but through presence? Think about it. How often do we rely on what we say to make an impression, when in reality, the way we carry ourselves speaks volumes before we even open our mouths? This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism comes in. The Stoics believed that true power lies not in what we say, but in how we embody resilience, self-mastery, and inner strength. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Today, we're going to explore how you can harness these timeless principles to command attention effortlessly, without saying a word. From mastering your posture to cultivating an unshakable calm, these Stoic practices will transform not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. Ready to discover how presence can become your most powerful tool? Let's dive in. Presence is the foundation of influence. Think about it. When someone walks into a room with a calm, steady demeanor, you can't help but notice them. That's the power of being fully present. Stoicism teaches us that our attention is one of the few things we truly control, and how we direct it shapes not only our experience but how others perceive us. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, put it this way: "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This idea extends to how we show up in the world. By focusing on the present moment, we cultivate a sense of clarity and composure that naturally draws others in. Take, for example, leaders like Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite the weight of his responsibilities, he was known for his unwavering focus and calm presence, even in the face of chaos. It wasn't about grand gestures or dramatic speeches. It was about how he carried himself. His ability to remain grounded and attentive in the moment commanded respect and attention without him having to say a word. So, how often are you truly present in your daily interactions? Are you fully there, or is your mind wandering to the next task, the next worry, or the next distraction? The next time you're in a conversation, try this. Pause, take a breath, and give that moment your full attention. Notice how it feels to be fully engaged and observe how others respond to you. Presence isn't just about where you are, it's about where your mind is. And in a world full of noise, that quiet focus can speak volumes. Your body speaks before you do. Even before you utter a single word, the way you carry yourself communicates volumes about your inner state. This is where Stoic philosophy meets the physical world. Your posture isn't just about standing tall. It's a reflection of your mental discipline and inner strength. The Stoics believed that the mind and body are deeply interconnected, and mastering one requires attention to the other. As Seneca once said, "It is the mind that makes the body rich." In other words, a calm, disciplined mind naturally manifests in a poised, confident stance. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how someone who exudes confidence seems to command a room without saying a word? Their posture, shoulders back, head held high, movements deliberate, speaks of self-assurance and control. This isn't just a coincidence. Stoic teachings emphasize self-discipline, and maintaining a strong posture is a physical expression of that discipline. It's not about vanity or appearance. It's about aligning your outer self with your inner resolve. Take athletes, for example. Before a big game or competition, you'll often see them standing tall, taking deep breaths and grounding themselves physically. This isn't just a pre-game ritual, it's a way to center their minds and project confidence, both to themselves and to their opponents. Public figures, too, use posture to convey authority and presence. Whether it's a politician addressing a crowd or a CEO leading a meeting, their posture reinforces their message before they even speak. So, what about you? The next time you find yourself in a stressful situation, take a moment to observe your posture. Are you slouching, shoulders hunched, as if trying to shrink away? Or are you standing tall, grounded, and composed? This small shift in how you hold yourself can have a profound impact on how you feel and how others perceive you. It's not about pretending to be confident. It's about embodying the calm, disciplined mindset that Stoicism encourages. Your posture is more than just a physical habit. It's a tool, a way to practice Stoic principles in your everyday life. By paying attention to how you carry yourself, you're not just improving your physical presence, you're reinforcing the mental discipline that lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy. And as Seneca reminds us, a strong mind leads to a strong body and vice versa. So stand tall, breathe deeply, and let your posture speak of the inner strength you're cultivating. Silence is not empty, it is full of meaning. For the Stoics, silence was far more than the absence of sound. It was a deliberate practice, a way to cultivate clarity, self-control, and inner strength. Think about it. How often do we speak without truly thinking, filling the air with words that serve no purpose? Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that silence allows us to pause, to observe, and to respond rather than react. It's in those quiet moments that we find the space to truly understand ourselves and the world around us. The Stoics believed that silence was a form of power. It wasn't about being passive or avoiding conflict. It was about choosing when to speak and when to let the moment speak for itself. Imagine a leader like Marcus Aurelius standing before a room of advisors, each vying to share their opinion. Instead of rushing to fill the silence, he would listen, reflect, and only then offer his thoughts. This deliberate approach not only earned him respect, but also ensured that his words carried weight when he chose to use them. History is filled with examples of silence speaking louder than words. Take Mahatma Gandhi, for instance. During his nonviolent resistance against British rule, his silence during protests and hunger strikes became a powerful symbol of resilience and determination. It wasn't the absence of speech that made an impact, it was the strength and intention behind it. Silence, when used purposefully, can convey resolve, dignity, and even defiance. Now consider your own life. Have there been moments when you chose silence over unnecessary words? Maybe it was during an argument when staying quiet allowed tensions to cool. Or perhaps it was in a moment of grief where no words could adequately express what you were feeling. Silence in these instances becomes a tool for connection and understanding rather than a barrier. So, the next time you feel the urge to fill the air with words, pause. Ask yourself, is this necessary? Does it add value, or would silence serve a greater purpose? By embracing the Stoic practice of valuing silence, you not only gain control over your speech, but also deepen your ability to listen, reflect, and act with intention. Silence, after all, is not a void. It's a space where wisdom grows. Emotions are powerful, but they don't have to control you. The Stoics understood this deeply, teaching that while emotions are a natural part of being human, they don't have to dictate our actions or cloud our judgment. Think of it like this: emotions are like waves in the ocean. They rise and fall, but you don't have to let them pull you under. Instead, you can stand firm, observing them without being swept away. This is the essence of emotional detachment, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic thinkers, put it perfectly when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, external events, whether they're setbacks, criticisms, or even successes, don't have the power to disturb you unless you let them. This isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about creating a mental space where you can acknowledge your feelings without being ruled by them. Take, for example, leaders who remain calm under pressure. Imagine a CEO facing a sudden crisis, a product recall, a market crash, or a public scandal. the natural reaction might be panic, frustration, or even anger. But the most effective leaders don't let those emotions take the wheel. Instead, they pause, assess the situation objectively, and respond with clarity and purpose. This ability to detach emotionally doesn't make them cold or indifferent. It makes them reliable and respected. So, how does this apply to you? Think about the last time you faced a challenging situation. Did your emotions take over, or were you able to step back and respond thoughtfully? The next time you feel overwhelmed, try this Stoic practice. Pause for a moment, observe your emotions as if you were an outsider, and then choose how to act. It's not about eliminating emotions, it's about mastering them. By cultivating this kind of emotional detachment, you not only maintain your composure but also command respect. People notice when someone can stay calm in the storm, and that kind of presence speaks volumes. It's a quiet strength, one that doesn't rely on loud gestures or dramatic reactions. Instead, it's rooted in the simple yet profound idea that you are in control of your inner world. No matter what's happening outside, the eyes are the windows to the soul and to your resolve. In Stoicism, maintaining a steady gaze isn't just about looking someone in the eye. It's a reflection of your inner confidence and emotional control. Think about it. When you meet someone's gaze without flinching or looking away, you're not just showing attentiveness, you're signaling that you're grounded, present, and unshaken by external distractions. Seneca once said, "The wise man is neither raised up by prosperity nor cast down by adversity." This idea extends to how we carry ourselves, including the way we use our eyes to communicate. A steady gaze isn't about intimidation. It's about demonstrating that you're fully engaged and in control of your emotions, no matter the situation. Consider how effective communicators, whether leaders, speakers, or even friends, use eye contact to build trust and connection. They don't stare aggressively, but they also don't shy away. Their gaze is calm, intentional, and steady, mirroring their inner stability. This isn't just a skill for public figures, it's something you can practice in everyday conversations. Next time you're speaking with someone, try holding their gaze just a moment longer than feels comfortable. Notice how it shifts the dynamic, how it makes you feel more present, and how it signals to the other person that you're truly listening. It's a small but powerful way to embody Stoic principles of self-assurance and mindfulness in your daily interactions. A still mind is a powerful mind. Think about it. When someone enters a room and exudes a sense of calm, you can't help but notice them. They don't need to shout or demand attention. Their presence alone draws you in. This is the essence of what the Stoics called apatheia, a state of mental tranquility, free from the chaos of excessive emotion or distraction. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, wrote extensively about the importance of cultivating this stillness. In his meditations, he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple yet profound idea reminds us that true authority doesn't come from external control, but from internal mastery. Imagine a leader during a crisis. The room is tense, uncertainty hangs in the air, and everyone is looking for direction. The person who remains calm, who doesn't let panic or doubt cloud their judgment, immediately becomes the focal point. Their stillness doesn't just reassure others, it commands respect. This isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about mastering them. When your mind is clear, your decisions are sharper, your words carry weight, and your presence becomes magnetic. Now consider your own life. How often does your mind feel cluttered or distracted? In a world that constantly pulls us in 100 directions, it's easy to lose that sense of inner calm. But the Stoics believed that stillness is always within reach. It starts with small, intentional moments, taking a pause before reacting, focusing on one task at a time, or simply breathing deeply when stress threatens to take over. These practices aren't just habits, They're tools for building a mindset that radiates authority and composure. So, the next time you find yourself in a high-pressure situation, remember Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. You don't need to control everything around you, but you can always control how you respond. A still mind isn't just a gift to yourself, it's a signal to others that you are someone worth following. Patience is not passive, it's a form of strength. In the Stoic tradition, patience is far more than simply waiting. It's a deliberate choice to remain composed, even in the face of frustration or adversity. The Stoics saw patience as a reflection of inner discipline, a way to demonstrate mastery over your emotions and actions. It's not about suppressing how you feel, but channeling that energy into something purposeful. When you practice patience, you send a powerful message that you are in control, that you refuse to be rattled by circumstances, and that you value long-term outcomes over short-term reactions. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, put it this way: "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." This metaphor beautifully captures the essence of patience. Just as a fig requires time to grow and ripen, so do the results of our efforts. Rushing or forcing things often leads to frustration, but patience allows us to trust the process and remain steady. Think about how this applies to real-life situations. In negotiations, for example, patience can be a game changer. When tensions rise, the person who remains calm and composed often gains the upper hand. They don't rush to concede or react impulsively. Instead, they wait, listen, and respond thoughtfully. This kind of patience commands respect because it shows emotional maturity and strategic thinking. Similarly, in personal conflicts, patience can diffuse heated moments. By choosing not to escalate a disagreement, you create space for understanding and resolution. So, where could you practice more patience? Maybe it's in your daily commute when delays test your temper. Or perhaps it's in your relationships where misunderstandings sometimes lead to frustration. Patience isn't about ignoring your feelings, it's about choosing how to act on them. It's a quiet strength that speaks volumes, drawing attention not through loudness but through the power of composure. When you embody patience, you become a source of calm in a chaotic world, and that's something people can't help but notice. Less is often more when it comes to influence. The Stoics understood this principle deeply, valuing simplicity and intentionality in every aspect of life. They believed that by stripping away the unnecessary, whether in actions, words, or emotions, we create space for what truly matters. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This idea isn't just about material possessions, it's about the way we carry ourselves, communicate, and interact with the world. When we focus on the essentials, our presence becomes more compelling, drawing attention naturally. Think about minimalist art or design, how a single stroke or a clean line can captivate an audience far more than a cluttered canvas. The same applies to how we present ourselves. A calm, steady gaze, a deliberate pause before speaking, or a simple, well-chosen word can speak volumes. These subtle, intentional actions create a magnetic effect, inviting others to lean in and pay attention. Now, consider your own life. Where are you overcomplicating things? Are there areas where you could simplify your actions or expressions to make a stronger impact? Sometimes the most powerful way to command attention is not by adding more, but by doing less with purpose and clarity. Your walk speaks volumes about your confidence. It's not just a way to get from one place to another, it's a reflection of your inner state. The Stoics understood this deeply, teaching that how you carry yourself physically is a mirror of your self-discipline and mindset. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And this extends to the way we move, your posture, your stride, even the rhythm of your steps. They all broadcast your level of composure and intentionality to the world. Think about it. When you see someone walking with their head held high, shoulders back, and a steady pace, what do you notice? They exude presence. They command attention without uttering a word. This isn't about vanity or putting on a show. It's about aligning your outer actions with your inner principles. The Stoics believed that every action, no matter how small, should be deliberate. Even something as simple as walking becomes an opportunity to practice self-mastery. Now consider the opposite: someone slouched, shuffling, or glancing around nervously. What does that communicate? It's not just about appearance, it's about the energy you project. The Stoic Walk is a reminder to move through life with purpose, to embody the calm and clarity you strive for internally. It's a physical manifestation of the Stoic ideal, to remain steady and composed no matter what's happening around you. Take a moment to reflect on your own walk. Do you move with intention, or do you let distractions pull you off balance? The next time you're out, try this simple exercise. As you walk, focus on your posture, your breathing, and the rhythm of your steps. Notice how it shifts your mood and mindset. This small act of awareness can be a powerful tool in cultivating the Stoic qualities of focus and resilience. After all, how you move through the world is how you move through life. Listening is an act of strength, not weakness. In a world that often rewards the loudest voice in the room, the Stoics remind us that true power lies in the quiet discipline of listening. This ancient practice isn't just about hearing words, it's about truly understanding others, a skill that commands respect and attention without uttering a single word. The Stoics believed that listening was a form of wisdom, a way to connect deeply with the world around us. As Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This simple yet profound idea challenges us to prioritize understanding over being understood. Think about the great leaders you admire. What sets them apart isn't just their ability to speak eloquently, but their capacity to listen intently. Leaders like Nelson Mandela and Marcus Aurelius understood that listening builds trust, fosters collaboration, and creates a sense of shared purpose. When you listen, truly listen, you show others that their thoughts and feelings matter. This isn't passive, it's an active choice to engage with humility and curiosity. So, how can you apply this in your own life? Start by asking yourself, how well do I listen in conversations? Do I interrupt, or do I give others the space to express themselves fully? The next time you're in a discussion, try this: pause before responding. Let the other person's words settle. Resist the urge to prepare your reply while they're still speaking. This small shift can transform not only how others perceive you, but also how you perceive the world. Listening isn't just about gaining information, it's about cultivating connection. It's a quiet strength that speaks volumes, a Stoic practice that reminds us of our shared humanity. When you listen deeply, you don't just hear words, you hear the person behind them. And in doing so, you command attention in the most profound way possible. A smile can be your most powerful tool. It's not just an expression, it's a reflection of your inner state, a quiet display of confidence and composure. In Stoic philosophy, cultivating inner peace is essential. And a genuine smile is one of the simplest yet most profound ways to manifest that peace outwardly. Think about it: when you smile, you're not just communicating warmth or approachability, you're demonstrating control over your emotions, even in the face of challenges. Seneca once wrote, "The wise man is joyful, happy, and calm whatever happens." And that calmness, that joy, can radiate through something as simple as a smile. But here's the Stoic twist: your smile isn't just for others, it's also for you. When you smile, even in moments of tension or discomfort, you're reminding yourself that you have the power to choose how you respond to the world around you. It's a small act of defiance against chaos, a way to reclaim your agency. Picture this: you're in a heated discussion, and instead of reacting with frustration, you respond with a calm smile. Not a forced grin, but a subtle, composed expression that says, "I'm here, I'm present, and I'm unfazed." That kind of presence can diffuse tension, shift the energy of a room, and even change the course of a conversation. So how can you put this into practice? Start by being intentional. The next time you're in a situation that feels overwhelming or stressful, take a moment to pause and smile. It doesn't have to be exaggerated or overly cheerful, just a quiet, steady expression that reflects your inner calm. Notice how it changes not only how others perceive you, but also how you feel in that moment. Because a smile, when rooted in Stoic principles, isn't just about appearances. It's about aligning your outer demeanor with your inner resilience. Try it today. See how it transforms your interactions and, more importantly, your mindset. Stillness is not inaction, it's a form of control. When everything around you is chaotic, the ability to remain still both physically and mentally is a testament to your inner strength. The Stoics understood this deeply. They saw stillness as a way to project confidence, clarity, and authority, even in the midst of turmoil. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. This idea of stillness isn't about doing nothing. It's about mastering your reactions and showing the world that you are unshaken. Think about it: when someone stands calmly while others are fidgeting or rushing, who commands the room? It's the person who embodies stillness. In public speaking, for example, a moment of deliberate pause can draw everyone's attention far more than frantic gestures or rapid speech. Leaders who practice stillness exude a quiet confidence that inspires trust and respect. It's not about being rigid or unapproachable. It's about being so grounded in your purpose that you don't need to constantly move or react to prove your worth. So how can you bring this into your own life? Start small. Next time you're in a conversation, resist the urge to interrupt or fill the silence. Instead, listen fully and respond with intention. Or when you're in a stressful situation, take a breath and center yourself before reacting. Stillness isn't just about the body, it's about the mind too. It's about choosing where to direct your focus and energy rather than being pulled in every direction. Take a moment to reflect: where in your life could a little more stillness make a big difference? A handshake can speak louder than words. It's a moment of connection, a silent exchange that communicates confidence, respect, and presence. In the Stoic tradition, this simple act aligns perfectly with their teachings on self-assurance. Stoicism isn't just about internal resilience, it's about how that inner strength manifests outwardly in our actions and interactions. A firm, confident handshake isn't just a social nicety. It's a reflection of the Stoic ideal of carrying yourself with dignity and composure, no matter the circumstances. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This idea isn't just about setting intentions, it's about embodying them. When you extend your hand with purpose and steadiness, you're not just greeting someone, you're projecting the kind of person you've chosen to be. It's a physical expression of your commitment to self-mastery, a small but powerful way to show that you're grounded and in control of yourself. Think about it: when you shake someone's hand, you're not just sharing a moment, you're sharing a piece of your character. Consider how a strong handshake can leave a lasting impression. Whether it's in a job interview, a business meeting, or even meeting someone new, that brief moment can set the tone for the entire interaction. A limp or hesitant handshake might suggest uncertainty, while a firm, deliberate one conveys confidence and respect. It's not about overpowering the other person, it's about meeting them on equal footing, showing that you're present and engaged. Take a moment to reflect on your own handshake style. Does it reflect the confidence and calm you want to embody? If not, don't worry, this is something you can practice and refine. Start by focusing on your posture, your grip, and the eye contact you make. These small adjustments can make a big difference, not just in how others perceive you, but in how you feel about yourself. Remember, the Stoics believed that how we present ourselves to the world is a reflection of our inner state. So the next time you extend your hand, let it be a silent testament to your self-assurance and poise. True strength often lies in humility. The Stoics believed that humility wasn't a sign of weakness but a mark of inner confidence and self-assurance. When you carry yourself with humility, you don't need to shout to be heard or demand attention to be respected. Instead, your quiet strength speaks volumes, drawing people toward you in a way that arrogance or self-promotion never could. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "A great man is always willing to be little." This simple yet profound statement reminds us that greatness isn't about towering over others, but about grounding ourselves in the understanding that we are part of something larger. Humility, in this sense, is a quiet acknowledgement of our place in the world, a virtue that commands respect without demanding it. Think about the leaders who have inspired you most. Chances are they weren't the ones who boasted about their achievements or sought the spotlight at every turn. Instead, they were the ones who led with humility, who listened more than they spoke, and who put the needs of others above their own. These leaders don't just earn respect, they inspire loyalty and trust. Their humility creates a space for others to thrive, fostering collaboration and connection rather than competition. In a world that often rewards loudness and self-promotion, the quiet power of humility stands out as a rare and valuable trait. So where can you practice more humility in your own life? It might be in the way you respond to criticism, choosing to listen and reflect rather than defend or deflect. Or perhaps it's in how you celebrate the successes of others, genuinely rejoicing in their achievements without comparing them to your own. Humility isn't about diminishing yourself, it's about recognizing that your worth isn't tied to being better than anyone else. It's about finding strength in stillness and confidence in quietude. As you go about your day, consider how you can embody this Stoic virtue not just to command respect, but to cultivate a deeper sense of connection and purpose in everything you do. Your breath is the anchor of your presence. It's the one thing you carry with you everywhere, a quiet rhythm that connects your mind and body. In Stoicism, this simple act of breathing isn't just about survival, it's a tool for cultivating calm, clarity, and control. The Stoics understood that mastery over your breath is mastery over your emotions. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength, and that power begins with something as fundamental as how you breathe. When you focus on your breath, you're not just filling your lungs with air. You're grounding yourself in the present moment, pulling yourself away from distractions and reactions. This isn't just a Stoic idea, it's a practice used by athletes, performers, and leaders in high-pressure situations. Think about it, when the stakes are high, the first thing people do is take a deep breath. It's not just to calm nerves, it's to center themselves, to command their attention and the attention of others around them. Controlled breathing signals confidence, composure, and intention, qualities that naturally draw others in. But how does this tie back to Stoicism? The Stoics believed that external events are beyond our control, but our responses to them are entirely within our grasp. By practicing mindful breathing, you're exercising that control. You're choosing stillness over chaos, clarity over confusion. It's a small act, but one that echoes the Stoic ideal of self-discipline. When you breathe with purpose, you're not just calming your mind, you're embodying the Stoic virtue of equanimity, the ability to remain steady no matter what life throws your way. So how can you bring this into your daily life? Start by setting aside just a few minutes each day to focus on your breath. Sit quietly, close your eyes if it helps, and take slow, deliberate breaths. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. This simple rhythm can become your anchor, a way to reset your mind and reclaim your focus. Over time, you'll find that this practice doesn't just help you stay calm. It helps you command attention, not through words, but through the quiet power of presence. Take a moment now to reflect. How often do you pause to breathe intentionally? In a world that's constantly pulling you in different directions, your breath is your steady companion, a reminder that you have the power to choose how you respond. Start small, start now, and let your breath become your greatest ally in cultivating stoic calm. To observe is to understand. This simple truth lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy, where keen observation is seen not just as a skill but as a pathway to wisdom and influence. The Stoics believed that by training ourselves to notice the details of the world around us without judgment or distraction, we unlock a deeper understanding of both ourselves and others. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight underscores the Stoic emphasis on perception. How we choose to see the world shapes how we respond to it. Observation, in the Stoic sense, isn't just about seeing, it's about truly understanding. It's the difference between glancing at a crowded room and noticing the subtle shifts in body language, the tone of someone's voice, or the unspoken emotions beneath the surface. Great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius used this practice to navigate the complexities of leadership, observing the behavior of those around him to make informed, compassionate decisions. Similarly, scientists and artists throughout history have relied on observation to uncover truths and create works that resonate across time. But how often do we truly observe? In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to move through life on autopilot, missing the nuances that could offer valuable insights. Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you paused to notice the small details in your environment, or truly listened to the words someone was saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak? This kind of mindful observation can transform how you interact with the world, making you more perceptive, empathetic, and ultimately more influential. Think about how this applies to your daily life, whether it's in a conversation with a friend, a meeting at work, or even a walk in the park. Practicing observation can help you uncover deeper layers of meaning. It's not about analyzing every little thing, but about being present and aware. When you observe with intention, you begin to see patterns, understand motivations, and anticipate needs, skills that can elevate your influence without uttering a single word. So, the next time you find yourself in a situation, take a step back, observe, and let what you see guide your actions. A nod can be a silent agreement or a powerful acknowledgement. It's one of the simplest yet most profound ways to communicate without words, and Stoicism teaches us that even the smallest gestures carry weight. Think about it. How often do we nod without even realizing it? But when done with intention, this subtle movement can convey understanding, respect, and even authority. It's not just a reflex, it's a tool for connection. Seneca once said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." While this might seem unrelated at first, it speaks to the Stoic principle of thoughtful action. A nod, when used deliberately, allows us to pause and acknowledge another person's words or presence before reacting. It's a moment of reflection, a way to show that you're truly listening. In a world where everyone is eager to speak, a simple nod can make you stand out as someone who values understanding over interruption. Consider how this plays out in everyday interactions. When someone shares an idea, a nod can signal that you're engaged and receptive. It builds rapport, creating a sense of mutual respect. In professional settings, a nod can convey confidence and decisiveness, showing that you're not just present but actively participating. Even in moments of disagreement, a nod can soften the conversation, signaling that you respect the other person's perspective even if you don't fully agree. So, how can you start using this more intentionally? Next time you're in a conversation, pay attention to your body language. Notice when you naturally nod, and ask yourself if it's just a habit or if it's adding value to the interaction. Try nodding deliberately when someone makes a point and observe how it changes the dynamic. You might be surprised at how such a small shift can make a big difference. This isn't about overthinking every gesture, it's about bringing awareness to something we often do unconsciously. By aligning your actions with Stoic principles, you can turn even the simplest nod into a moment of connection and respect. Consistency is the hallmark of integrity. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic displays, but rather the quiet, steady commitment to doing what's right day in and day out. For the Stoics, this wasn't just a matter of habit, it was a reflection of inner discipline and a clear alignment with one's values. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be." Be one. At its core, this captures the essence of consistency. It's not about debating ideals, but embodying them through unwavering action. When you show up consistently, people notice. It's not because you're shouting for attention, but because your actions speak louder than words. Think about it. When someone always follows through on their promises, when they remain calm under pressure, or when they treat others with respect regardless of the circumstances, they naturally command respect and trust. This kind of behavior doesn't just happen. It's cultivated through deliberate practice and a commitment to living in alignment with Stoic principles. Consider this: consistency isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Even small, repeated actions can have a profound impact over time. For example, showing up to work with a positive attitude every day, even when it's challenging, builds a reputation for reliability. Or consistently choosing kindness in moments of frustration demonstrates emotional mastery. These choices, though seemingly small, compound into a powerful presence that others can't help but notice. So, where in your life can you embrace more consistency? Is it in how you manage your time, how you communicate with others, or perhaps in your approach to personal growth? Reflect on the areas where your actions might not yet align with your values, and consider how small, steady changes could make a big difference. Remember, it's not about being flawless, it's about being steadfast. And in that steadfastness, you'll find a quiet but undeniable way to command attention and respect. A pause can speak volumes. In a world that often feels like it's rushing by, the act of stopping, even for just a moment, can create a profound impact. This is where the Stoic pause comes in, a powerful practice rooted in mindfulness and self-awareness. Stoics like Epictetus understood that reflection is not just about thinking deeply, but also about creating space between thought and action. He once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That space, that deliberate pause, is where true clarity and intention are born. Think about it. When you pause, you give yourself the chance to respond rather than react. It's not just about slowing down. It's about creating an intentional moment of stillness that commands attention both from others and from yourself. In public speaking, for example, a well-timed pause can emphasize a point, build anticipation, or even reset the energy in a room. In negotiations, a pause can signal confidence, giving the other person time to reflect or reconsider their position. It's a subtle yet powerful tool that communicates strength and composure. So how can you start incorporating this into your own life? Begin by noticing moments where you feel the urge to rush, whether it's in conversation, during a presentation, or even in moments of conflict. Practice taking a breath before you speak or act. That small pause can shift the entire dynamic, allowing you to respond with intention rather than impulse. What might happen if you gave yourself that moment of stillness today? How might it change the way you communicate or even the way you see the world? The Stoic pause isn't just a technique, it's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply stop. Gratitude is a silent force of influence. It doesn't shout for attention or demand recognition, yet it has the power to shift the energy of a room, deepen connections, and quietly command respect. For the Stoics, gratitude wasn't just a polite gesture, it was a profound reflection of inner contentment. When you express genuine gratitude, you're showing that you recognize the value in others and in the world around you. This acknowledgement, rooted in humility and mindfulness, creates a ripple effect that draws people toward you. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "He who is grateful for the good things in his life is truly rich." This idea goes beyond material wealth. It's about cultivating a mindset that sees abundance even in scarcity. When you practice gratitude, you're not just acknowledging what you have, you're training yourself to focus on what truly matters. This shift in perspective can transform how you interact with others. Imagine walking into a room with a genuine appreciation for the people around you. Your gratitude becomes a magnet, subtly influencing how others perceive and respond to you. Consider how gratitude can transform relationships. In a world where negativity often dominates, taking a moment to express thanks can stand out. Whether it's a simple thank you to a colleague or a heartfelt acknowledgement of someone's effort, these small acts of gratitude can build trust and foster deeper connections. Gratitude isn't just about words, it's about presence. It's about showing up with a mindset that values what others bring to the table. Now, take a moment to reflect. What are you grateful for today? It could be something as simple as a warm cup of coffee in the morning or the support of a friend. When you start to notice these moments, you'll find that gratitude becomes a lens through which you see the world. And as you cultivate this practice, you'll notice how it subtly shifts the way others see you, not as someone who demands attention, but as someone who quietly commands it through the strength of your character. Your stance is a reflection of your inner balance. Think about it. How you hold yourself physically often mirrors the state of your mind. The Stoics understood this connection deeply, teaching that inner stability and confidence are not just mental exercises but must also manifest in the way we carry ourselves. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This strength isn't just about thoughts, it's about how those thoughts shape your presence in the world. When you stand tall, with your feet firmly planted and your posture steady, you're not just projecting confidence to others, you're also reinforcing it within yourself. A grounded stance creates a feedback loop. The more you embody stability physically, the more your mind aligns with that sense of calm and control. It's a subtle but powerful way to practice Stoic principles in everyday life. Consider how this plays out in real-world scenarios. Imagine walking into a room where you feel uncertain or out of place. If you let your shoulders slump or your gaze wander, you're likely to feel even more disconnected. But if you take a moment to adjust your posture, straighten your back, level your gaze, and plant your feet firmly, you'll notice a shift. Suddenly, you're not just standing differently, you're thinking differently. That's the Stoic stance in action. Take a moment to reflect on this. Next time you're in a situation that demands confidence, whether it's a meeting, a presentation, or even a difficult conversation, pay attention to how you're standing. Are you leaning against a wall, shifting your weight nervously, or slouching? Or are you grounding yourself, embodying the stability and strength that Stoicism teaches? This simple act of awareness can transform not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about aligning your outward presence with the inner resilience you're cultivating through Stoic practice. When your stance reflects your inner balance, you're not just commanding attention, you're embodying the calm, unshakable confidence that comes from living in alignment with Stoic principles. Now, as we bring this journey to a close, let's revisit the powerful Stoic principles that can transform the way you command attention, not through words, but through the quiet strength of your presence. We've explored how stillness, self-mastery, and a grounded sense of calm can speak louder than any speech. These are not just tools for influence, they are pathways to living with intention and integrity. Think about it. When you move through the world with deliberate focus, when you choose stillness over chaos, and when you master your reactions instead of being ruled by them, you become a magnet for respect and admiration. It's not about grand gestures or loud declarations. It's about the subtle, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing yourself deeply. As Seneca once said, sometimes even to live is an act of courage. This courage isn't about dramatic displays. It's about the quiet resilience to face life's challenges with grace and composure. It's the inner strength that radiates outward, drawing others to you without a single word. So, how can you start applying these practices today? Begin by carving out moments of stillness in your day, whether it's through meditation, a walk in nature, or simply sitting in silence. Pay attention to your reactions in stressful situations. Are you responding from a place of calm, or are you letting external chaos dictate your emotions? Small, consistent steps toward self-mastery will compound over time, shaping you into someone who commands attention effortlessly. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How do you plan to incorporate these Stoic principles into your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a community of growth and reflection. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to subscribe for more insights on living with purpose and power. Remember, the journey to mastering yourself is one of the most rewarding paths you can take. Until next time, stay grounded, stay intentional, and let your presence speak volumes.